that little dude's facing off against those humongous hogs.
Now, Ronin, you will pay for disobeying the Shogun.
Be warned, you are no match for me.
3 against 1, we shall see.
Well,
what's up, collectors? Pete Rockzilla back for another review, and it does seem like I'm on a Ninja Turtle phase right now, but it's just not that. It's just currently, that's what I'm currently getting in my collection. NECA recently released their, NECA Fall Geekathon going on currently, where they're releasing new figures, and this is the time to get the figures. So this is one of the ones I did pick up at my local Target, and this is the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon version of Usagi Yojimbo. This dude, when he came out in the cartoon, he was like a breath of fresh air for me, you know, because the Ninja Turtles are more like ninja based, and this guy was more of the samurai honor, you know, code and everything, warrior code. And I did enjoy this, and the fact that he actually has his own cartoon, not cartoon, comic and story is pretty cool. And it's just, like I said, it was just a breath of fresh air to see him in the cartoon. So I knew this figure here took a long time to come out. If you're a NECA Ninja Turtles collector, it took a long time to come out, and we were all begging and praying for this figure to come out, and he finally came out. So of course I could not miss on the opportunity, because since I've been asking for him, they gave this to us, so I gotta support it. So I gotta grab him. All right, let's get this review started. Dale. As always, let's go ahead and take a look at the box, because I love the way NECA does these Ninja Turtle boxes. They're more like the VHS kind of cover. So of course I want to take a look at the box before we take the figure out of the box. And of course you get the front here. You have Usagi right there with Leonardo and Raphael. On the side, you get the Ninja Turtles. You get the VHS Volume 8. Tales of Usagi Yojimbo. In the back, you get a little bio. I'll pause that real quick if you guys want to read that. So you can pause it right there and take a quick read. See the figure from the cartoon. So you know more than likely we're going to get these turtles down with the leather jackets and everything like that, since they showed them here with the shades and everything. So I might have to get these to represent my shade wearers. More pictures of Usagi right there posed up. Another NECA Ninja Turtle, same thing there. All the people who were involved in the figure, legal information. And then once you open the flap, you do get a nice picture of Usagi right there. And there goes the figure with all the accessories it does come with. All right, let's go ahead and get Usagi out the box and finally in my collection. So once you get the figure out the box, let's get the box out the way. You're greeted with the clamshell. And it has the figure with all the accessories on there. Just a quick look if you ever want to repackage the figure. And you do have the robe and the bag on the side of there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get him and all the accessories out, so we can take a close look at everything he comes with. So there we have Usagi with all the accessories he does come with in the package. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figure first. As we can see, the figure does look very good. This is definitely Usagi from the cartoons. This is how I remember him looking. Same color pattern, that same stare, same color in the eyeballs. And he actually feels pretty good. Like, this is this portion right here is just like a Master Splinter in the premium it's like a soft malleable plastic. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at articulation. So Usagi can look 360. I said I was never gonna do that review, but I did again. So after this one, I'm not doing that again. Alright, so this is ponytail, which is basically his ears. This is malleable, or it is posable. You can move it around. So you can adjust it. It just goes sideways. It does not move up and down. Alright, so he can look pretty far down. He can look very good far up. He can go sideways. Alright, so let's go for the arms. Now remember, these are NECA figures, so my joints may need to be preheated. But so far, let's see. So Usagi can do the Y pose. I'm sorry, the T pose. Then you do get bend at the elbows, single joint bend. This one is a little bit tight, but I think I don't need the water for this one. There we go. So let's see if that paint rubs off on those joints when I bring it back. But if you get, of course, you get bend there, single bend. You do get twist at the shoulders, and you do get some articulation at the elbow. Kind of limited because of the jacket. Alright, so you do see some paint there coming off. Let's see over here. You do see a little bit. No, actually nothing there. All right, so the hands, let's see how far. You can go pretty far forward and pretty far back. You do get some articulation at the waist, as you can see. Feels a little awkward. He does kind of get bend going back and a little bit going forward. Not much. Let's go ahead and bring these arms out real quick again, just to get the leg posed. All right, so the legs. He can do, actually, whoa, look at that. Usagi can somewhat do a split. The legs, all right, so just to know, the jacket portion and the pants portion, like the butt portion, is the soft plastic. This is the hard. So it does give you some leeway for the articulation because of the soft plastic around the butt area and the waist. So you could somewhat do a split, sideways split. You do get, I gotta find these knees are gonna be needs to be, oh no, that one's actually good. So you do get single bend, just like the arms, you do get single bend at the knees. You do get a little bit pivot. So basically the knees and the elbows have the same joint. All right. And then you get pivot, or I'm sorry, twisting at the knee and at the thigh. The feet do pivot sideways. Let's see. You can not, you don't basically have any articulation going down and a little bit going up. So far, I mean, I don't have many paint peeling issues with this guy so far. This one knee, I think, oh no, that's bending too, see? So, all right, so this is like another figure rare that I don't have any issues with. I guess I picked a good batch, or picked one from a good one from the batch. All right, so let's go ahead and look at his accessories now. And this does come with the secondary head sculpt. This is the one that you would wear, or you'd use if you want to use the hat. So obviously it won't fit on the other one because of the ears. So basically you just put the hat on like this on this one. And this is the one that you would use with the hat. Obviously a little bit more straighter and better. And this one has, like I said, the hair going down. So I would love to, I wonder if this comes off. No, you can't. Can you switch this out? I'm curious if you can switch out the ears, because I would love to use this face sculpt with those ears. I'll see it in a little bit, but I do like the sculpting here that does look like fur, as you can see all across them. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the hat. Well, we got the hat here, and the hat is, this is actually, what is this? This is a plastic. This is a weird different material. This is like it's basically, yeah, it's a plastic. So you want to be careful with that. That could kind of break off if you put too much stress on it. But I'm pretty sure you can glue it back on there easily. But it does look good. Good paint application. Then he does, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled T-O-K-A-G-E. That's the name of these dinosaurs or lizards. They're kind of like dinosaur lizards. Same thing. From his world, from his comics. And they're kind of like, you know, like pets, like kind of like dogs over there. So this is pretty cool. They did added this with them because he does have these in his comics. And then of course you have his sheath for his swords. Now I did scrape this up by accident. The paint did come off easily. I did scrape it up by accident when I was trying to get those plastic pieces that are wrapped around it off. So I got some paint for my Gundam model kits that I can actually probably use to kind of fix this a little bit. So more likely I will be doing that to kind of fix those scratches there. But this supposedly somehow goes on him. I'm not sure yet. I gotta look at if there's any instructions in there. And then you do get his two swords. Somewhat well painted. As you can see the handle there. So you do get the two swords. You get that one and you get the smaller one. And they do fit in the sheath, as you can see. So they fit there nice and perfect. Then you do get his kuni. Same thing, plastic. No, they should have painted this a little bit more metallic, but it is what it is. This is the cartoon version. And then I always forget the name of this weapon right here, but Raphael does come with it. Some of the other turtles do come with this. And then he does have, obviously, 4 separate swappable hands. One for holding the swords and one closed fist. You do get a pair of those. And then, last but not least, he does come with the jacket. Now, the only part on this that has a bendy wire is the hood. Everything else on here, if it doesn't feel like a cheap fabric, so it feels pretty good, but no bending wire across. All right, so there we go. We took a look at Usagi with all his accessories. So let's go ahead and get a size comparison started. Now we have Usagi standard default pose. Let's go ahead and bring some figures in for size comparison. And let's go ahead and bring in another NECA figure, and this is going to be the NECA cartoon. This is the Pinball Loot Crate Shredder. So there we have Shredder. Now let's go ahead and bring in another sword wielding person, and this is going to be the SH Figure Arts Trunks. There we have Trunks. Now let's bring another sword person, and this is going to be the Masco 112 Deathstroke. And last but not least, the guy I got to keep including in my reviews that I keep forgetting. This is going to be the 2021 SH Monster Arts Godzilla. So there we go. 4 other figures, different, 1 in the same line, 3 others, ones in different lines, just to get a good size comparison of how Usagi would fit in your collection if you decide to pick him up. Alright, let's do the final thoughts and final poses. One thing I do want to bring up, it looks like in my package, I am missing 2 items. It's supposed to come with a long belt that you can use to wrap around the robe, and then a shorter belt that you actually use to have the sheath attached to him, because there's no other way to attach the sheath to his hip. There's no peg. I looked in my box, I looked in the jacket, the robe, I'm sorry. As you can see, I opened the robe, I took everything out from inside the robe. The only thing in there was those little silicone packets, whatever you call those. So I am missing mine, but I did want to get one pose with the robe on and show kind of like how the robe would look. When you first take out the package, it does look a little too big for Usagi, but once you get it on him, it actually fits good. The length of the arms, of the sleeves is basically perfect. The wire on the hood is at the right spot, right above, right past the forehead. And I did have to swap out the head to put the head with the ponytail, with the bunny ears laying down. And I did find out that you can swap out the bunny ears. You can have them the flat ones or the ones that are somewhat up. You can swap them out between the different heads. So I'm going to show that in the next few poses. But like I said, I'm missing something. I just wanted to make sure I did get a pose with the robe on. And here you go. So in this pose, I wanted to show that you can swap out the ears on the different head sculpts, because the original one came with the teeth showing. So here I swapped them out and able to get the straw hat on there. And I have them basically in a classic ready for action. Before, you know, most samurais, when they have the hats on, they do a quick pose, then they slowly take the hat off before they're about to get in action. So I kind of want to aim for something like that, where Usagi's ready for action. All he has to do is just slip that hat off and jump into the battle. This figure so far, I had no issues. The only issues maybe I did have, I'm trying to think, was the fact that I'm missing my 2 belts. The fact that the paint chipped off so easily when I was trying to remove the items from the packaging. Little issues. I know NECA is normally like hit or miss with their paint. Like their paints, either they put too much on there and it frees up the joints, or they put a little bit on there and they're easily scratched off. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm happy to finally have this guy. You know, I'm happy they finally made him. And I'm looking forward to what else they're going to have in the line. Other than that, no negatives with the figures. All the joints moved, no problem. A little bit paint peeling off on some of the joints, but not as bad as the pre-mutation pack. So happy with this purchase so far. And now we have Usagi battling Chrome Domes, as they both have the swords. And this is a good way for me to bring this up. I wish they kind of went the route of having the sheath attached to the belt the way they did Chrome Dome there. It actually has 2 plastic slots that's fit in right into the sheath that go right onto the belt. There's 2 slots on there, and then the pegs are on the sheath. I'm not sure why they didn't go that route with Usagi for his sheath, because you need that silly belt that was not packaged in mine. So something they should have did, but they didn't do. But it is what it is. Like I said, I don't make the figures. I just love collecting these turtle stuff. But there we go. We have Usagi ready to battle Chrome Dome. You can see he had the hat on. He threw the hat on the floor. You got the little dinosaur running off because he's scared. He's trying to protect the little sheath, but that's not going to last long. And these two looked good together. Even though Chrome Dome is big, what I like is that you can basically have the heads on both of them pivot where they can still make eye contact with each other. As you can see, Usagi's looking up at Chrome Dome and Chrono's looking down at Usagi right there, and the eyes match up perfectly. This figure is cool. I'm happy this figure finally came out. It took a long time for it to come out, and like I've been saying with other collectors and other people, if you're gonna be a collector, you gotta have patience. You can't just rush out to anything that's made, even if it's something that's like, perfect example, that Spawn figure that came out, the 1/6 scale one. Well, technically it's 1/4 scale, at least to me. Yes, it does look pretty good, and that is the only representation we have for Spawn in the bigger scale. But I'm gonna hold and keep my patience, because I've seen from other lines and other things I do collect is if you just patient long enough, eventually what you want more can be made. Now I'm not saying will be made, because it doesn't happen all the time, but there's a good chance it will happen. So I'm happy I held out for Usagi here. He came out good. I have no problems with his articulation. Nothing wrong with the joints. Everything was swapped out easily. The only, like I said, the only minor I do have is mine is missing the belts. But more likely I wasn't going to use the robes anyway, so it's not a huge hindrance for me. I did want to have the sheaths on his waist, but I did see how some other reviewers did attach the belt to the sheath, and I'm not liking the way it looks. So for now he's going to be like this, but happy we finally got him, and I'm hoping NECA gives us more of the characters that we never thought we were going to get, or we do really want. Alright, collectors and people watching, I really hope you enjoyed this review and the figure. If you did, please hit that like, subscribe button, click that bell notification. Just hit 1K subscribers, so I've got great things coming up for the channel, got some plans coming around the corner. Just more of me grinding and getting things for you guys, more content and more things you should enjoy. So as always, keep collecting, stay safe, be good, dale.